by now check the Archmage inventory and see that he's sold his town portal, he's bought a Boots of Speed, he's bought Dust of Appearance, which means first of all he can see the 100 HP Blade Master while it's windwalked, and also the Blade Master, unless it also buys boots, can't chase him down. So he calls Militia while he's building the lumber mill and goes to tier 1 tower push Legacy. Because of Legacy's good tech, he's almost tier 2. And the second he scouts the human doing this, he throws up a war mill. Those are two really key things to note about Legacy's build. Also, the burrow next to the barracks in front of the base, he needs to keep that alive. And it's not going to be easy versus the defend footies, but it's really important for Legacy to not lose that burrow. First of all, second of all, because it's defense. Notice the first thing Holy Human focuses down is the Blade Master. He wants him to windwalk, he doesn't want him attacking, because the Blade Master is Legacy's source of damage. He gets a nice surround off on the Grunt, which is going to die, and Legacy does not look like he's in good shape right now. He heals his Blade Master in the back of his base. You know, he has to do that because he needs him to fight. And possible he focuses down weak units. If they're weak footmen, they're weak footmen. If they're weak peasants, they're weak peasants. That's ideal. Notice also he's building a second further back. The reason for this is because pretty much the only option he has to take out these towers right now is demolishers. And how he's going to do that is by building them. And because the towers are next to close to this first barracks, it's probably going to die if the towers go up. So he's got a second barracks just in case. And if the first barracks lives, then he has 2 barracks to produce double the demos. Anyways, he stopped grunt production entirely, which is important to note. He's not wasting any gold on grunts. Instead, he spends his gold on healing potions for his Blade Master, because he is tier 2, and because the Blade Master is his main source of damage. So if he's forced to windwalk full, then he's not doing as much as he should be. So, healing potions. You'll see he's pretty much tearing apart the footmen. The grunts do a pretty good job of taking them out too, but nowhere near a job as the Blade Master. And burrows are utterly useless against defend footmen. So anyways, notice the towers have gotten up in pretty good position. They're attacking the gold mining peasants. And Holy Human looks to be in pretty good shape. Usually when the towers, it's a good game. But Legacy, once he gets back, he heals his Blade Master with a potion and focuses down everything that's in his base and that is not that is out of range of the towers. Right now it's the Archmage. When the Archmage sees the Demolisher go out, that becomes his priority. He's got to take down the Demolishers because they take down the towers. So Legacy is again focusing down the Water Elemental. Notice Legacy really well played right there. He took down the trees with the Demolisher to make room for it, so that it wouldn't get trapped and killed. Demolishers are slow, they have terrible pathing, they're really hard to keep alive, which makes tower pushes even stronger against Orc. But anyways, able to keep it alive. He's focusing down on the tower with the Demolisher, but one thing really important to note, he's not right-clicking on the tower, he's using attack ground. The difference is that it damages the peasants repairing it. So, I mean, hopefully eventually he'll run out of gold, or he'll kill the peasants, and he won't be able to repair the tower, and he'll be able to get down. His second barracks, his first barracks died, but just as it died, the Demolisher came out, and Legacy used a speed scroll tap. So now he's able to take down these peasants. They're pretty much useless. He's able to take down the footmen, which are pretty much useless at this point, because the Blade Master is doing so much damage. He repairs the burrow, really important. Tries to repair this second Demolisher. Now he has 3 Demolishers. Again, the Blade Master is doing 84 damage crit. He starts focusing down the Archmage, and the Archmage makes it his priority to take out the Demolishers. And because of that, he takes extra damage. Now at this point, Legacy's lost. He's taken a lot of damage. His altar's taking damage, his gold peasants have taken damage, but he's successfully gotten the Demolishers out. And his Blade Master is in good health, which is pretty much key. Stop the human from advancing further into his base, and at this point, he can windwalk, and that Archmage is 54 HP, it's going to die. He almost lets his Town Hall die. It gets down to 180, 150, 130, 120, 190, 90, 89, you know, sub 100 HP, and while holding the Hall, Blade Master to take out the repairing peasants, which is really intelligent on his part. And then he windwalks and kills the Archmage, and at this point, it's a good game, because the Demolishers are safe, the towers can only take down buildings, and they're not going to do that because they're being repaired, and Holy Human's lost his Archmage. So there you have it, that's a successful stop of a tier 1 tower push, and believe me, this strategy is very, very common from Human on this map. One thing Legacy didn't do, which I advocate doing, but it's not a huge deal in this game, spiked barricades from the war mill. I think it's 75 gold, 25 lumber, or the opposite maybe. And it really, I mean, it may not seem like a big deal, but it helps so much versus defend footmen because your burrows are so useless versus them. and it makes, you know, it's just extra damage you're doing to the footies, or to the militia, if that's what's attacking your burrows. Anyways, 8 minutes 54 seconds short. I'm trying to speed through these to make sure you guys aren't falling asleep in the audio. Game 4. Get this started up and paused at the 1 minute. Actually, for this game, let's say 30-second mark. 1x speed, fog of war off. My point of view, Stop's point of view. This is Orc vs. Human on Echo Isles. I had you orcs at different levels of play message me asking to do an audio against on the Firelord tower push and how to stop that. So that's what this is. So 30 seconds, fog of war off. My point of I'm gonna get synced up, and we'll discuss the Firelord tower push. I'm sorry, I'm not a pro player. I couldn't find a recent game of a pro playing against the Firelord tower push. Apparently it's pretty common on East right now. One orc told me, I don't know if he was joking or not, but he said because of Hoseki, who's one of the WCR staff, because of him and how he's playing, a lot of humans are tier 1 Firelord tower pushing. And the orc said to me, it forces me to go Farseer because I don't know how to beat the Firelord tower push with a Blade Master. So that's what this replay is going to be all about, beating the Firelord tower push with a Blade Master. So fog of war off, my point of view, 30-second mark. Let's get the game unpaused in 3, 2, 1, unpause. First of all, my base build. I change it a lot, to be honest, but at this point I think I was extra cautious against human because I've been towered so much. So you'll notice my first burrow is actually further out than did and than a lot of orcs would do. It's giving me early protection, extra range, so it's in pretty good placement to stop a tier 1 tower push from the Firelord, from the human user. The second burrow is going to go below the Great Hall and to the right of the barracks. I don't know that he's tier 1 pushing, but I know that he could be. And I know that even during a 2 tower push, having the burrows in range is helpful. More vulnerable, but I think it's a small trade-off for the protective you early on. Altar Peasant, Altar Peon goes out to scout. I said it already, it's so necessary because it tells you right away what the human's doing. Some humans will build the altar first and actually start training an Archmage and then cancel it. And that way they kind of fake you out into thinking that he's playing standard. But all the same, it's good to send the scout, and if they do that, they don't have as many footmen, so it's actually an easier push to stop. But anyways, I digress. The scout peon's going. I don't know if I saw that footman going down to the tavern or not, but that'd be an early indicator. But anyways, when I get to his base, I notice the early racks and the fact that there's nothing being built from the altar, plus a pretty unusual base build. I'm pretty sure if he'd gone Archmage, he wouldn't be using this base build. Anyways, these things clue me into a tier 1 tower push. So Voodoo Lounge growing up, again, whether or not he was tower pushing, I would put that up anyways because it's so important. You never know. And I send my Blade Master down Tavern at first, but then I noticed with my Scout Peon that the militia are coming. The first thing I do, and which is really key, is doing as much damage as possible to the militia. I try to get the Grunt block to slow down the militia. That's not really successful. I'm not off. The peon tried it. It's a little bit more successful. Anyways, 2 of them are about half HP, which is going to make killing them a lot easier by the time I get there. And I've done enough damage without taking any damage on my Blade Master, so that's a pretty good start. Windwalk goes off, and I focus down the weakest peasant that I can find. Looking at my base, no tech. An extra burrow before tier 2. Because the burrows are almost like towers. I mean, until he has defend, they're actually pretty useful. The Blade Master focuses down 1 peasant, while the peon and grunts focus down another. That's to split up his focus fire. Does he choose to focus a grunt? Does he choose to focus a Blade Master? Either way, I'm doing damage to 1 peasants. I stupidly lose this grunt here. I'm sorry. I think I was just making a priority to take out this tower, which I think I'm going to do, but it cost me a grunt. Ideally, you don't want to be losing grunts carelessly. And here I lose another one carelessly, I think, yeah. So that's a good adjustment on his part to get this around and to kill this grunt. Not the best play on my part, but I was able to kill enough militia, enough peasants, and the tower that I'm going to delay his tech. As he's focusing down my burrow, I choose to focus down the peasants, because the last thing I want is towers in my base. I can pretty much fight grunts versus footmen, and even grunts versus spawns. I can't fight versus the towers. I should have repaired that burrow. I'm a noob, I'm sorry. It dies. And he also gets another surround on another grunt, and this is actually going to give him level 2, I think.